Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your old mate Beatles Dave calling to you from Derby in the UK. Busy waiting for my Mind Games double LP to arrive, so I thought I'd get in the part. Bought a new Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band jacket. The bright-eyed people out there know I've got a green one. This one came in the post yesterday. It has actually got trousers and stuff with it, but I'm not really going to wear the trousers, so this is what it looks like in all its glory. Nice bit of tassel. Any bit of fun, folks, just something to make you laugh. Old fart like me getting into the spirit of the Beatles and everything. Anyway, this is a response to a video that I had, a response to a comment that I had a few days ago about one of the first videos I ever made. So it's about 2 years ago, and we looked at this, which was the Beatles singles collection. I did do a video, and I will put my hand on my heart, it wasn't the best video that I've ever done. So I thought we'd revisit it because this person wanted me to go into a little bit more detail. I will try and make it as quick as I can. I don't want to make it like a 2-hour video, because please like and subscribe, by the way, because people don't like watching long videos. So this box set originally came out in 1976, although I think this is the one from about 1978, because you do get the Yesterday single and Back in the USSR. So it's 24 Beatles singles. So this is a little pamphlet that came with it. So basically in here you get reissues of all the Beatles singles from Love Me Do up to Let It Be, and then obviously you get Yesterday, I Should Have Known Better, and then Back in the USSR with Twist and Shout. And then I think there was one that came out in about 1980 or 78, 89, something, 78, 79, where you actually got the Sergeant Pepper and A Day in the Life single as well. So 9 times out of 10, if you buy this box set, you won't get this with it. Some of them came with a flexi disc as well, which this one didn't. So the box isn't very well constructed, to be honest. They do it a lot better nowadays, where this would probably slip off, wouldn't it? These are the green generic sleeves, as they call these. I think that's what they call them anyway. Just bear with me 1 second. They're very hard to get out, these are, to be honest. So yeah, it's 24 singles. These box sets go for silly money on certain internet selling sites now. But then again, some of these singles on their own, these reissues in the green, that was these were in print from 1976 to about 1980, 1981, to be honest. Some of these go for a lot of money on their own. Just off a swag. Beatles Dave, please like and subscribe. Yeah, so we'll look at them. I will get a few of the singles out, but I'm not going to show you every single, because otherwise this video is going to go on for till the 12th of November. So we start off with Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You, and you do get a period picture on the back of the Beatles from roughly 1962. That picture was actually used on the reissue from 1982 of the Love Me Do single. So you get the green, you get what's on it, you get Parlophone and Apple labels. This is on a black one box EMI Parlophone label. Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. Now, I will admit, I've owned this box for a number of years, and I think I've only ever played it once. And I know that's going to sound stupid. You've got all those records and you've only ever played them once. There is a reason why I've only played most of them once. That is because I've got all of the singles anyway, either in originals or later issues. Then we've got Please Please Me and Ask Me Why. Again, it's on the same sort of label as Love Me Do. And these are virtually mint. And you do get the same sort of like picture on the back. And they do have the original catalogue numbers, the original UK catalogue numbers with all these. Then we get From Me to You and Thank You Girl. Again, same cover on the back. I don't know if you want to see these labels or not. I think some of you might, because if you don't live in the UK, you won't know what the UK singles used to look like. These are very authentic to the original 1960s pressings. The only difference is in the 1960s, it wouldn't say EMI at the bottom, but the rest of the label is pretty faithful. And this is a push out centre. I think most of these are push out centres, to be honest. So what was the first ever Beatles #1? Was it From Me to You? Or was it Please Please Me in the UK? A lot of the record books will show that it was From Me to You, but Please Please Me did actually get to #1 in a lot of the other charts, but there's more than one chart at the time. Then we've got She Loves You and I'll Get You. This was the best selling single in the UK for about 20 odd years, I think. I think it was till Band Aid came out. No, Mull of Kintyre. That's it. So She Loves You and I'll Get You. Yeah, it was She Loves You. Then it was Mull of Kintyre beat it, and then I think Band Aid beat those two. But Paul McCartney featured on all of those singles or something. I think I'm right in saying that. Wrong. Then you've got the single that launched the Beatles' career in America, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And in the UK, it was backed with This Boy. Great song, This Boy. Oh, and this boy could be happy just to love you. Man. Well, by the way, if you like this jacket, I'm not endorsed by the people that sell it, but if you look onto a certain internet selling site, I'm sure you all know which one it is. It begins with E and ends in Bay. You can pick these up. I mean, I think I paid £27 for my green one. This one, which is a lot better than that one, and it's better quality, and you actually get trousers with this as well if you wanted to wear the trousers, was £19 with free post and packaging. It looks good though, doesn't it? Well, I think it does. Maybe I should have put my Beatles wig on and put my Van John Lennon glasses on, but Paul wore the blue one, didn't he? And John wore the green one. So we've got Can't Buy Me Love and You Can't Do That. Again, I won't bother showing you all the records now because they are all the same until we get a bit further on. Then we get A Hard Day's Night and Things We Said Today. I think this should have been a double A side in the UK. I really do. I think both those tracks, don't get me wrong, I love A Hard Day's Night, but I think Things We Said Today is just as good a track as A Hard Day's Night. Again, that is just in my humble opinion. You lot out there might think, Dave, that's a load of crap. Very, very underrated song, I think, Things We Said Today. You think the chord structure and everything, I think that was slightly ahead of its time. This is one of my favourite Beatles singles, whether it's a UK singles Beatles, UK singles or American singles or whatever. I Feel Fine. I Feel Fine, I think, is the Beatles at a sort of peak singles wise. And again, this could have been an double A side because the B side of this is just as strong. In some ways, it could even be stronger than the A side. Is She's a Woman, and of course, She's a Woman did feature in Help when they're going to blow the cave up, and you can hear there's like a tape playing of the Beatles singing She's a Woman. So I Feel Fine, fantastic song. First song or one of the first songs to feature feedback, wasn't it? And I think John Lennon's vocal on that is probably one of the best he did on a Beatles single. I won't say it's the best, but I'd say it's one of the best. And that was when the Beatles were still enjoying being the Beatles as well, wasn't it? Then we've got Ticket to Ride, and Yes It Is. Oh, by the way, you get a different picture on that one, look. But that's from 1966, isn't it? Where that song was from 1964. Then we get Ticket to Ride, and Yes It Is. Again, Yes It Is a very, very underrated Beatles song. See, this is the thing when you're looking at the UK and the American equivalents of albums and singles. You had slightly different B sides and things like that. You had things released as singles that weren't released as singles in the UK. A lot of the B sides on the singles of the Beatles UK catalogue weren't on albums. Some were, but a lot of them weren't. So you couldn't just buy the album; you had to buy the single as well. Otherwise you'd be missing out on certain songs. Um, then you've got Help and I'm Down. Again, two fantastic songs. I think a lot of these do work. I think a lot of thought went into what was on the A side and what was on the B side. To make them very, very strong. Wasn't it George Martin that says always, especially if he's making an album, start off with a strong song and finish the album off with a strong song. And I think they tried to do the same with the singles. Didn't always work, did it? But a lot of the time it did. We Can Work It Out and Date Up, and now this was classed as a double A side in the UK. That means that both sides got the same amount of airtime. Again, picture from 1968, 66, sorry. Put my teeth in properly. Then we've got one of the strongest ever Beatles singles I think they ever released in their history, from 1962 to 1970. Paperback Writer and Rain came out of nowhere, could quite easily fitted on Revolver, but the Beatles decided to use this as a standalone single, and what a single it was. This is a very, very close second to I Feel Fine. It's like one of my favourite Beatles singles. Well, I'll be honest, I Feel Fine is my favourite Beatles single. Paperback Writer is my second. And the rest of them change up from day to day, like this one. Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby. I absolutely adore Eleanor Rigby. Again, it was something completely different when they released this as a single. Most people might have considered it a slightly weak song in one way, but it's the Beatles always wanted to be different. Eleanor Rigby is fantastic. Yellow Submarine, on the other hand, and don't criticise me for this, sometimes I love it and I think it's one of the most intriguing songs the Beatles ever written, because there's certain hidden meanings in it, and other times I think it's just like a novelty song, a kid's song. We used to sing Yellow Submarine when I was at school, but 9 times out of 10, if I'm sat in the cavern and somebody sings it, I will gladly sit there and sing my head off to it. It is one of my least favourite Beatles songs in some ways, but then other times it's one of my favourites, especially if I listen to it on the Yellow Submarine album. I think it fits. Uh, most people would say this is the greatest Beatles single ever released, and I think it's very, very close to the top. It probably is in a lot of ways. This was something completely different. I think when this was released, the public in the UK weren't expecting the Beatles to change so much from doing a kids' songs, i.e. Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby, to doing Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane. In the UK, this failed to get to number one. It got to number two, and it was kept off the top spot by Engelbert Humperdinck's Please Release Me, Let Me Go. I think it was that one, anyway. I think Penny Lane got to number one, didn't it, in America? Again, this was a double A side, as was Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby. Now, you do get a photo from 1967 on this. These are all still on the Parlophone label at the minute. Then we get All You Need Is Love and Baby You're a Rich Man. Again, a fantastic pairing. Could have been a double A side. What is Baby You're a Rich Man all about? I seem to remember years ago reading it was about Brian Epstein, but then I've read something just recently that says it was nothing to do with Brian Epstein. It was about All the Beautiful People or something, which was another name for the hippies. So yeah, All You Need Is Love is a fantastic song as well. Again, you still get the picture from 1967. What do you think about these singles, folks? Eh? Then you get Hello Goodbye with I Am the Walrus. Now, I Am the Walrus was on the double Magical Mystery Tour EP in the UK, which got to number 2, and then it was on this that got to number 1. So if you combine the actual sales of Arm the Walrus, technically that would have been the stronger A side in a lot of ways, wouldn't it? Or it would have been classed as having the most airplay, but I don't think it did. Hello Goodbye, it's the Beatles going back to doing like the poppier sort of music after the experimental psychedelia of All You Need Is Love and Strawberry Fields Forever and things like that. Fantastic song. I love the video to that, by the way. And again, it's the Beatles at a peak sort of thing, isn't it? Then there's this one. This is a very, very overlooked single in the Beatles catalogue, even here in the UK. Lady Madonna and the Inner Light. The Inner Light was the first B-side to be written by George Harrison that was released in the UK. Wonderful song. Lady Madonna's a fantastic song. It's a bit like a rockabilly song, isn't it? I think Paul wrote that originally for Fats Domino to record, didn't he? I don't know if he ever did, but yeah. And the Inner Light is basically a Japanese poem put to music, if I remember rightly. Very, very underrated, actually, the Inner Light. Without going out of my door, I can know the ways of heaven. Then we get to the Apple year. So now you've got a picture from 1969. Hey Jude, Revolution. Hey Jude is a fantastic song, and it probably did deserve to be the Beatles' first single on their newly formed Apple label at the time. But I do think, again, this could have been a double A side. Revolution, this is the fast version. Originally, John had done it more a slower version and wanted that as the A side, didn't he? And the other Beatles said, oh, no, it's too slow. So they did another version, which is a fantastic version, which is this version. And then they goes, now I think we can stay with Hey Jude, which was, in hindsight, the right decision. Fantastic song. Um, yeah, love it. I love all these songs. Anything by the Beatles, I love, if you're into it, anyway. Then we Get Back and Don't Let Me Down. Again, two fantastic songs. Get Back was obviously from the Get Back stroke Let It Be sessions, as was Don't Let Me Down. And these were both recorded live on top of the Apple building as well, weren't they? Although these are the studio recordings. Again, fantastic. I do think that this does go well because they're both like up-tempo sort of songs, aren't they? And they both show John and Paul in his fine spirits and still enjoying being the Beatles or being in the Beatles. If you ever watch the Get Back documentary and you see the Beatles performing Get Back and Don't Let Me Down, you can see they're having the time of their lives. Even George is laughing at one point. Quiet Beatle. Then we've got the Beatles. This was the Beatles' last UK #1 until Now and Then last year. And it's the Ballad of John and Yoko and Old Brown Shoe. The Ballad of John and Yoko apparently has only got John and Paul playing on it. And Old Brown Shoe has got all 4 Beatles on it. Old Brown Shoe is a George Harrison composition. And then the Ballad of John and Yoko is basically like a song about him and Yoko up to that point. It got banned in a few places, didn't it? The Ballad of John and Yoko, or censored because they didn't like the line, Christ, you know it ain't easy. You know how it can be, the way things go when they're gonna crucify me. If you watched a video I did a couple of days ago, and I showed you, I think it was a Spanish version of the Hey Jude, well, the Beatles again, stroke Hey Jude album, that actually didn't have the Ballad of John and Yoko on it. Old Brown Shoe is a good rocking sort of song from George. Then we've got Something and Come Together. Again, this was classed as a double A side in the UK, although Something got the lion's share of the airplay, as it should do. A fantastic love song, basically, isn't it? from George to Patty. And the Beatles did all appear in the video for this, although I don't think there was ever in the same sort of room or outside thing. I think they've just edited videos together. Fantastic song. Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she woos me. Love it. And Come Together, what a fantastic song. He come on flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got choo choo apple, he won holy roller. Yeah, fantastic. And of course, both of these were highlights of the Abbey Road LP. Again, this is still an Apple, very faithful to the original Apple, although it's slightly lighter. Then we've got Let It Be. And the B side of this is You Know My Name, Look Up the Number. A very, very strange John Lennon composition that nearly came out as a single in its own right under the Plastic Ono Band. A little bit of that and What's the New Mary Jane, isn't it? This is the single version of Let It Be, which is produced by George Martin. It's got a bit of bass on it, hasn't it? Again, a lovely, lovely song by Paul. Uh, you Know My Name, excuse me, You Know My Name, Look at the Number. Again, is a very, very obscure John Lennon song in a lot of ways. But when you actually listen to it, that has got a very, very strange recording history. They started recording that around the Sergeant Pepper sessions, believe it or not, and it didn't see the light of day till 1970. Apparently, Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones plays saxophone on that. How true that is, I don't know, because somebody else says, or it could be Brian Jones of the Undertakers. I'll leave that completely up to you. Then we get the two. That's what this has got. Oh no, right. This has actually got Sergeant Pepper with it as well. So I'll do it. These are like the bonus ones. Some of these weren't in the original ones. So you get Yesterday, and I Should Have Known Better. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. And I should have known better. I should have known better with a girl like you, that I would love everything that you do. Which is quite strange because both of those songs featured on. Yesterday was on the Help album in the UK, and I Should Have Known Better was on the Hard Day's Night album in the UK. Yeah. You got Yesterday in America, didn't you? Just single in 1965. We had to wait till 1976. Then we got Back in the USSR and Twist and Shout. This was to promote the rock and roll album, wasn't it? I think at the time. I think it does actually say it on there, doesn't it? Yeah, from Beatles' rock and roll music album. So you got Back in the USSR, which originally was on the White Album, wasn't it? And Twist and Shout, which was originally on Please Please Me in the UK. Again, it shows you how the Beatles progressed, I suppose. Now, this is the more rarer one. This is the one that's got a black cross on it. See, that's got a white cross, and that one's got a black cross on the back. See that? All it means is that I think this was only pressed in small quantities, although this has not got the original centre. And then to finish it off, we've got Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So maybe it's just as well I did put this on. See, look, Paul's in blue, Beatle Dave's in blue. With a little help from my friends, and then the B side is the classic A Day in the Life. I think when this was released in the UK, it hardly got anywhere in the charts. Probably the low reached the top 30 or something. So the A side is Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and A Little Help from My Friends, or With a Little Help from My Friends, it says on there. And then the B side is A Day in the Life. A Day in the Life, what a wonderful record, wonderful song that was. So that's it. So that is what you're getting it. I didn't pay a lot for these. I think I paid under £50 for them. It was a few years ago, don't get me wrong. If you want to buy those now on eBay, I was looking this morning and the cheapest one I could find was £125. There is slight variations from around the world. I think there's one in Holland where it's basically the same content as that, but they're in like a brownie coloured sleeve. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, just think about subscribing. It is free. It doesn't cost you a penny, honestly, folks. It does not cost you a penny to subscribe to any YouTube channel. And it takes a second to just go beep like that, and that's it, you're subscribed. If you want notifications, if you hit the bell button as well, then you'll get notification for when I'm doing new videos and dressing up in silly things like this. Or maybe you might think, Beetle Dave, you look fantastic in that. I don't know. I think it looks okay. I just don't particularly like these lapels. But Sue says the more you wear it, the more they'll sort of like get into shape, which I hope so. Because I do think it actually quite suits me. Or does it? I don't know. Please like and subscribe if you've liked this video. And that's going to be it. There's no Beetle Dave's Twist and Shout Outs today because it's a bit of a weird day. I've had the morning off. I've took Bailey for a walk. I've tidied up and things like that. Done all the housework. No, I haven't. Actually, I have. Well, sort of. And then my mum's coming round in a bit. So I wasn't actually going to do this till tomorrow. But then I thought, let's do it now. Let's treat you all and show off Beetle Dave's new Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band jacket. Now just stand up again for you to see what. Back a bit. See, it's quite nice, isn't it? Although you don't get the OPD thing. It's on Paul's jacket, isn't it? And I've got a green one as well. I just think that green one was fantastic. This is a hell of a lot better. And then I've got the collarless one, haven't I? Do you know, like the early Beatles one that I did do a video of a few days ago. And I found out that was actually in stage play. That jacket was in a version of Beatlemania, which was the UK production, not the American production. Again, didn't pay much for that. So love and peace to you all. Remember, you are the beat of Beetle Dave. A splendid time is guaranteed for you all. So I hope you have all enjoyed this. And whatever you're doing, please stay safe. If my John Lennon Mind Games double LP does come in the next few days, I will do a video of that. If not, I'll do a video on something else. So until the next time, peace, love and happiness to you all. Remember, Beetle Dave loves you. Cheerio, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.